Okay. Sit comfortably, cross-legged. Keep your neck and spine erect. I hope you guys are all showered up this morning, like we discussed. Join your hands to the palms and heart center. And notice that the body is breathing on its own accord without any effort on our side. The heart is beating on its own accord. And feel this heartbeats at the wrist. This is where the pulse on the wrist and the heartbeats come together. And relax your thighs. Just if you give attention to the thighs, they will automatically relax. There's nothing to be done. Just simple attention, simple awareness of the thighs, and they will relax. Move your attention to the torso, and it will relax. The chest, the heart, it will relax. Shoulders. And start from the top of the crown of the head. And let your attention kind of drip in all directions in the contours. Let it come to the forehead, to the cheeks, to the chin, to the nose, ears. And gently relax your eyelids, the eyeballs, and let the tongue settle down in the mouth, the base of the mouth, in the buccal cavity. And realize that the body is still breathing. And now we'll manipulate the breath. We'll take a deep breath here. Take a deep breath as much as you can. And we'll start with the Omkar. Today we'll do the Omkar with the Ah, Oo, and Ma. So when you're saying Ah, just focus where the vibrations are happening. So just realize them. And you may realize that they mostly happen in the belly region, in the pelvis, in the lower parts of the body. And as you start closing in your mouth, that ah, same ah will convert to oo. And the reverberations of the oo will start shifting to the upper part of the body, into the lungs, into the neck area. And then when you close your lips for the ma, all these reverberations, you will see through the tongue, they will enter into the cranial region and start activating the Agnya chakra, the pineal gland. That's the significance at the physiological level of the Om. So when you say the Ma, when you close your lips, also tuck your tongue to the roof of your mouth. So the vibrations generating from here through the tongue reach the palate, and from the palate, they go into the brain. So let's take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. And this time notice that behind the vibrations, there is a constant hum. Pay attention to that hum that happens behind the vibrations. Take a deep breath again. Ah. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amrutam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms. And gently put the soft part of your palms on your eyelids. Don't press. And look deep inside the Chidakash. And remember in the beginning what the Chidakash looked like. And towards the end, we will do it again. And try to see if you can see any significant shift in the energies in the mental space. So the mind has four parts to it: the man, buddhi, chitta, and ahankar. So these are the four parts. Man is the thinking mind. Buddhi is the intellect. Chitta is your subconscious mind. And ahankar is a sense of existence, a sense of ego, that I exist. So these are the four parts that make up the constitution of the mind. And brain is the hardware in which all of this resides. Okay, so let's not get confused with any of that. So when we use these terms, we all understand what these mean. When I say chitta, we're talking about the subconscious mind. So chitta akash, when you combine these two words, it becomes chidakash. So the space of the subconscious mind is what you see when you close your eyes this way. Okay, so with that, I think we should try to do the not the Sarvangasana, but the Shirshasana. If you have the chairs and if you have these soft blocks, you can use them. If not, use any blanket to just cushion your shoulders. And I'm going to move you on the other side so you can see clearly what I'm doing. So let's go here. And let's see. Yeah, there you go. So this is the apparatus I have. It's called the Yoga Kurunta. The Kurunta means rope in Sanskrit. And I use these things for different things. And right now it is tied because I do inversions using that as well. So put your chairs like this and put the two blocks on the chair. And then you're going to face the wall. And those who are not comfortable with this, let's just watch it first. And why are we doing inversions? I mean, there are many benefits of inversions. First of all, we irrigate the body, we invert, we go against the gravity. It reduces the pressure on your heart. And if you have any blood pressure, vertigo, or any of that issues, please do not try to do this because it will just, I don't know, I don't want to take responsibility of you getting hurt on the other side. So try not to do that, but you can watch it, So let's do that. So look at the apparatus and um, set up your chairs and blocks and take a minute. And what I have done here is I've kept a gap for my head to go in. So I'm going to close in this gap just enough so that the neck goes in there. So I'm going to slide my head from here. If you can imagine this as my head, I'm going to slide the head inside like this so that the neck stays between the two blocks, between the two chairs. And my shoulders will rest on these. And this is a very easy way to do Shirsasana because it doesn't put any pressure on your neck or anything because see, I think Shirshasana is a good exercise, but if you're starting at a very young age, then your neck muscles and your bones and everything is used to taking that pressure of the entire body. If we are overweight, the neck is not designed to take that pressure, okay? So let's try not to mess with that. I think you get all the benefits of doing Shirshasana this way without, you get to balance, you get the inversion, you get all the other good benefits of that. So let's do that. Let's face the chair and hold the chair with your hand on the side like this. And what I'm going to do, if you feel uncomfortable sliding your head inside, you can always pull the chairs later in. So pull them apart and put your head inside there. And then pull the chairs towards you. There you go. And then I'm just going to put my shoulders on the block and just straight go up like this. There you go. I think this is super comfortable. At any age, you should be able to do this. And it doesn't have the risks that you take normally with the Shirshasana of, hurting your neck or in any way. If you have spondylitis or other issues like vertigo, I would recommend that you do this basically along the wall. So you can put your feet along the wall like this also. That's perfectly fine for people who are having issues with the vertigo. But otherwise, it's if you can just keep your feet and shoulder all in one line. So basically, if I were to draw a line from this crown of my head, it goes through sideways. If you look at it from the crown, it travels to the center of the ear, through the center of the shoulder, comes down to the center of the hips, and it lands on the ankles. So that's the line you want to maintain. If you look up, you should be able to see your feet. And then I would encourage to see if you can move your feet up and down. And what that does, basically pumps your calf muscles, which is responsible for your lymphatic fluids. And what you're doing is you're pumping the calf muscles and trying to get those lymphatic fluids flowing in the opposite direction. There you go. And you can stay here as long as 1 minute to 2 minutes, I would say. Very comfortable. This is very comfortable actually. I know it feels kind of weird to look at. Initially you may feel a little bit uncomfortable, but once you get used to it, I think this is really, really easy. Okay, it's one of the most easy asanas that you will do. There you go. And to come down, you can fold your legs very gently and then spread them outward and then land. And then you come out. So once you come out, I would say You want to sit down in Vajrasana and just gently keep your eyes open or closed, doesn't matter, but let your body settle down with all that inversion that we just did. Okay, so it's never try to do anything crazy after you do the Shirshasana because you may lose balance. So, okay. So here we start with our regular exercise. Today we are going to do some intense exercise with suryanamaskar. So we'll probably use the stick. If you have the stick, I think that'll be great. I use this simple bamboo stick that I have. You can easily buy this at Home Depot. It's super cheap. You'll get a whole bunch of those. And these are nothing but the stakes that they use in landscape. So you'll probably go into a garden area and you can easily buy that. It's very stiff. You can't bend it, and it's really cool. You can hold it like this, and it corrects your positions. Okay, so we may think that we are doing things correctly, but sometimes these alignments tools help you to do stuff accurately because the sticks will not lie. Okay, so when I say keep your back straight, so if you hold your stick at the back and you hold it like this, I know that the stick is pushing your mid back towards outside, towards the front part, so that when you sit, you know that the stick is aligning your body, just like that same alignment we talked about, from the top of the head to the ear to the shoulder, and that line is aligned by this stick like that. Okay, so very simple usage, but it's very, very effective. Okay, so let's get going with that. Let's do our normal warm up so that we are warmed up enough for, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to move back and let's do the stretching now. We're done with okay, so clasp your hands and go up and stretch, and see that your fingers are inverted like this. They're facing outward, but when you're stretching upward, the entire palm is sort of parallel to the ground or parallel to the ceiling above. Okay, make sure that, and then you rise on your toes, make sure the heels are connected so that you get a nice balance, and stretch and come down. Okay, very good. We'll skip some of the subtler exercises with neck today, but we'll obviously still have to do the shoulders. So you can do the shoulders like that. There you go. And then let's go the opposite way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then relax. Okay, we come to the center of the body. Spread your feet apart a little bit, and then see if you can do. Just move your hips, nothing else. Okay, so your head stays where it is, and then go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. And then keep your feet apart like this. Bend a little bit and see if you can just rotate your knees. Rotate from the knees this time. You know, in martial arts, people stand like this. You know, they put their feet like that. They spread them apart. And then that comes to the hip width. And then they bend down. and then they do all these exercises, right? The punching and all that. It's basically strengthening the quads right here, strengthening the knee, the muscles around that. So if you can stand like that in Utkatasana, so in yoga, we do the Utkatasana like this, and then we can go to the extreme of doing Utkatasana like this, okay? And then you keep sitting down, 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 and come up. But what we do is we put the knees together and then go down, 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 and see if you can sit. Make sure the heels are still connected to the yoga mat or whatever you're sitting on, and come up. There you go. So I think with that, we're going to do the Surya Namaskar. You can use these blocks for the Padahastasana, the Janu Shirasana portion of it, and I'll show you how to use that. So keep your blocks and stick and everything ready with you. All right, so we start, leave about 8 to 9 inches ahead of in front of the mat, from your toes to the edge of the mat. Stand in Samasthiti. Samasthiti is Samma. Sam is balance, the balance of the mind, the balance of the body. It's a sum total of everything. And notice how the body is swaying from left to right as you close your eyes. And these are mental modifications that are happening. And like the wind blows and it blows your, kind of swings your body from one place, one to the other. And similarly, the mental modifications, the winds in the mind, the thought processes, whatever is going on in the mind is directly amplified. And the body just keeps on swaying like that because the mind is not still. That's the indication. So yoga helps to still the mind. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukham tatvam pushan apavrunu satya dharmaya drishtaye. Om Ram Mitraya Namaha. Slide your palms down to the navel and go out and over. Connect your biceps to the earlobes and push your hips forward. And then drop your head and look at your own thumbs. And breathe in and breathe out. As you're exhaling, synchronize your movements of the body with the exhalation. As you exhale, come to Samakonasana. Pick up your 2 blocks and then rest them by the side. And then look straight ahead. So what you're trying to do is trying to keep your body at 90 degrees by keeping the back not rounded off. And those who can, you can turn the block and go a little bit deeper. And make sure you're not bending your knees so you're feeling the heat in the hamstrings out here. And you can hold the block and see if the body succumbs to the gravity. And then slowly you can put the block sideways and see if you can rest your palms on it. And we're going to use the block today and the stick at the same time. And I'll let you know if you need the belt. You can walk your feet like this at this Janu Shirasana if you wanted to. And then gently let your head drop again and look at your own knees. The goal here is to see if you can touch your forehead down here or put your chest onto this part so your head actually goes even below. And if you want to grab your calf muscles here and give that gentle pressure, okay? Don't pull too hard, don't hurt yourself, because this is a vulnerable position for your low back. So just be careful. I've done that before, so I'm just talking through experience, because we're overzealous about trying to achieve. The mind is designed to achieve. The modern man is designed to achieve everything, conquer the nature, talk about GDP. It's about achieve in life. So yoga is the quite opposite of that. You have to just be in here in this moment, here and now, and not talking about growth or progress or anything like that. This is about the anti-growth. It's about slowing down. It's about being here and now. And when you are here and now, there is no growth. There is no dissipation of any kind. We are here and now. We're not moving from where we are mentally and physically. And that's where the time stops and you go beyond. So take your left foot back. Take your left foot back and then put your knee down. Now here's one thing we will do later on, but I might as well introduce you now, is see if you can put your right foot on top of the block, okay? When you put that right foot on top of the block, it's going to deepen this practice, okay? That means your shoulder is going to get below your knee, okay? So you put that block under your foot, this will be a deeper position. So, and look straight ahead. This is Ashwasanchalam. And Ashwasanchalam is about the horse, the mind. And horse is also a representation in the philosophy as the indriya is one of the senses that is always running outward. And this horse is always running outward. It's restless, it's constantly looking for something. It's constantly seeking something. And this is where we try to tame it, to stop that seeking, because seeking is one single most thing that actually distracts us from the present moment. Because we think we have to seek happiness, we have to seek peace, we have to seek mental, that peace that we're looking for. It's not to be sought after. There's nothing to be sought after here. And so we're trying to tell this horse that stop seeking and be here and now. The whole term seeker in yogic system, to me, that is a fallacy within itself. There is nothing to seek. So there is no seeker. And when there is no seeker, there is no seeking. And when there is no seeking happening, your mind is at complete rest, complete rest. So realize that we are not here to seek anything, but we are just here and now for no purpose. There is no purpose. We're just being here and now. It's every pose is meditative. So then take your right foot back and put the blocks on the side of the of the mat. So align them on the edge of the block of the mat, and then come to the plank position. So I'm using the blocks right now to accentuate my plank a little bit, and you will know what I'm trying to do here soon. And then look straight ahead to activate your Agnya Chakra, or look between your hands if you prefer that. And then put your knee down. Do not move your hands from where they are. Keep them where they are. And then get a nice extension in your back, and then fold your knees, uncurl your toes, and then put your forehead on the ground. Now you will see that by putting the hands on the block, it becomes a little bit difficult. You get a little bit more extension this way, and your shoulders are forced to face or turn backwards. And then breathe in and come up, and then get into Sashtang Namaskar. Now you're going to put your chest down, your chin down, and put your hands on the block. And then come to Sarpasana with your hands on the block. And look up. So this will give you a little bit more extension, as well as a little bit of more backward bending. And then come up to Adho Mukha Svanasana and spread your feet apart as wide as the mat. And see if you can touch your heels this time. I'll tell you why you can do that, because your hands are on the block. Okay, so you should be able to touch your heels to the ground, and then hold the block like this, hold it, and then push it away from you. And because there is friction, you will be able to do that. The block is not going to slide away. And look at your own navel. Both the feet are flat on the ground, the heels are touching the ground. And there you go. This is wonderful. This is a very relaxing position. In fact, once you develop a little bit more stamina, it's not that difficult. It's actually, I love this because it really relaxes your heart, drops your blood pressure, and then bring your feet together. And if you want to walk them, if you don't want to walk them, you can just be here. And then put your knees down again and come to Balasana. And see if you can put your forehead on the ground. And breathe in and come up. And now we're going to put the feet in between the two hands. Okay, so now it's going to be a little bit tricky, but you can do it. Okay, once you do that, I would encourage you to put your block in and put your feet on the block again. All right, and then put your hands on the side. This will give you a deeper movement here, and it will, the hamstring is lined up with the quads at the back. You see that? So they are basically at almost 180 degrees. So they're opening up even more by putting the block, and you put your foot on the block. And then you put your hand on the side and look straight ahead without seeking anything. We're not looking for anything. We're not trying to see something. We're not trying to seek something. And you're here and now in every position. The whole idea of purpose has a fallacy built into it. So people ask all these kind of questions. What's the purpose of life? What's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of that? And I'm baffled sometimes. Why do we keep asking these fundamental questions? Yes, it is fundamental, but that fundamentalism should lead you to self-realization. It should implode within itself. There are no answers to these. There is no purpose. Let's find out whether we even exist first. Do we even know we exist? Then there is purpose. The purpose is a secondary question. The first question is, do I exist? If I exist, who am I? These are really, really fundamental questions right there. And those are the questions we should be pondering on rather than what is the purpose of life? So look straight ahead. And then put the block away. Take the block out. And then put the right foot next to the left foot. And we are coming to Janu Shirasana again. Grab your calf muscles at the back and see if you can gently pull yourself towards you, towards the chest. The chest wants to fall and touch the quads. Gently do that. Very gentle pressure. You have to be very patient in yoga. That patience itself is the tapa. You know, the meaning of tapa is to heat up. You know, in physics, as you know, when you heat up something, it goes to the next level of excitement, right? That's everybody knows that, right? When you excite the electron, it shifts into the next orbit. And when you heat up something, all those electrons are basically getting excited and they shift to the next level. So the word tapa is coming from the tapascharya, is the process of heating up the mind and the body so that we rise to the next level of understanding life. That is the whole goal of tapa, okay? So what we are doing here basically is we are tempering the body, we are tempering the mind, and in that tempering, you rise, you grow psychologically, slowly, 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 slowly. And that rising will yield its own fruits someday. Okay, so this is what the word tapa means. So this is what we are doing here. We are tapa means when there is excruciating pain in the body, but it's still pleasurable pain, not acute pain that is going to hurt you. So that excruciating pain becomes suffering when the mind says, I don't like it. I want to be out of here. Okay. That's where the mind refuses to grow. It refuses to get heated up. So when you are in the middle of that, it's called the yogagni. The word yogagni means the fire of yoga. The yogi burns in the fire of the pain that he goes through and endures. And that endurance basically puts you in difficult situations. And once you know how to deal with the mind in difficult situations in life, that's where when we say that, oh, that guy is very matured or that person is very matured, that maturity comes from this tapa, about going through this difficult situations, purposely putting yourself in them. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go to the next one. And we'll do this a little faster without the blocks. And then we'll get into the variations. Om Hrim Ravaye Namaha. So slide your palms down and push and come down Let the gravity take its spot right here. Let the gravity let your body succumb to the gravity. Your body is succumbing. And this is the Ananta Samapatti, as I call it. And Patanjali has used that word in his prayer. The Ananta Samapatti is surrendering to the infinity. Is basically you're basically allowing that infinity to take over, that gravity to take over. And you're not putting any effort from your side to sort of make this happen faster. So you wait in pratiksha. The word pratiksha is that you just wait, and you just wait for the right moment to open up. So you wait in pratiksha. Okay, so you're at the Padhastasana, Janu Shirasana, when you put your head down, and if you can touch your head to the knees, that would be great. If you cannot, that's okay. Put your right foot back and come to Ashwasanchalan. You will find that now the blocks are gone. It's easier because you already stretch yourself. So it's easier this way. And then you put your left foot back to meet the right, come to the plank position, and come to Balasana, come to Shashankasana, the child's pose as they call it in the West. And come up and then put your right foot up. Oh, sorry, I completely missed it. Come to suryanamaskar and come to Sarpasana, come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And you may notice that your heels are now touching the ground. And come to Balasana again. And put your right foot up. And for those, this is difficult to put your right foot up like this. I know it is difficult. Some people may be landing here, some may be landing like this. And so another idea I discovered is you can put the foot outside of your leg, of your foot. So if you're sitting, if you're like this, to put your foot in between, it gets into your hands, right? It's a little difficult. What you can do is you can put your foot outside. That's also fine. And that actually allows you to go deeper into the crooked monkey pose. Okay, so if you want to do that, that's also fine. So from here, I'm going to put it in between the two hands or outside, and then try to look up. Make sure this shin is perpendicular to the mat in both directions, X and Y axis both. And come to Padhastasana, Janu Shirasana. Close your hands, push your hips, and exhale. So the inhalation and exhalation, you have to remember that when you are in the position, you exhale. When you are shifting from one position to the other, you inhale. Come to the position, exhale, and then inhale again and go to the next position, exhale, come to the next position, so you get into this kind of rhythm of the breathing exercise at the same time the bodily movement, okay? And that should be pretty easy. Okay, so now we have done two and we are getting into a variation of Surya Namaskar real quick. We can get into that. So we did the 12 pose Surya Namaskar. So now, Om Rum Suryaya Namaha. So we'll introduce a few steps now that are different than the typical Surya Namaskar. You go out and then push your hips forward like we do traditionally. Let your head fall back and then come to the center. And here, see if you can fold your knees and start sinking the ship. You're getting into the water. So you fold your knees, fold your knees, fold your knees, and you come to this Utkatasana while maintaining your hands upright. And then you put your hands on, put your right elbow on your left knee, and then twist. And do the opposite on the other side and twist. And then grab the two big toes with the two fingers. Grab the big toes and come to Pada Angushtasana. Pada Angushtasana. And see if you can straighten your knees completely. And then you take your four fingers and the palm and slide it under so that your big toe is almost at the wrist. So you slide it and you slide it and then straighten your knees. If you want to bend your knee, that's fine. And then gently start straightening out and gently start straightening out. So that make sure that your hands are under the palm, the soles of your feet, and then you stretch. Pada Hastasana. Okay, and then you are going to grab with the right hand the left blade of your left foot and see if you can twist. And then with your left hand, grab the blade of your right foot and see if you can twist. Very nice. Okay. Then we are going to get into Ashwa Sanchalan. Take your left foot back and then look straight ahead. And then join your palms and open up your right foot. Connect your biceps to the earlobes and then settle down. And look up. This is a little bit of balancing pose, so be careful. And while you're looking up, we'll go into Ardha Chandra Namaskar. So what you have to do is push your hips in and bend backwards. And come back. And then come back to the same position and see if you can lift yourself. Lift the knee from the back and turn it. Turn it. And then see if you can come to the warrior pose 1. And look up. And then you're going to get into the warrior pose 2. So this is where you can use the stick. If you have the stick, put it on your shoulders, get into the warrior pose 2, and this will align both the hands in the same line at the back and forth. And then put the stick away, put it by the side, and see if you want to do the warrior pose. But this time, we're going to get into a pose That is going to keep your hand, your knee, and your elbow are together. And then you get your left hand and your left foot in one line. And if you want to put that hand down and then do it, that's also fine. And then put it back again and see if you want to reverse it. And straighten your feet. And this time, we're going to see if we can do Sarvanga Purnasana, okay? So bring your feet together a little bit nearer, not too far. And then instead of having the hips face this way, twist them. Twist them and make sure that your feet are perfectly aligned. Your foot is centered this way, and the back foot is a little bit sideways, okay? And if you want to keep it straight, both of them parallel, that's also fine. And then get your balance. And then if you want to just fold from the hips, fold from the hips, you're going into Sarvanga Purnasana. And then see if you can touch your toes. Touch your toes. And tuck your head inside. And connect your ears with the biceps. And come up and go the opposite side. So turn around. This time we're going to twist it on the other side. Make sure your left foot is facing that way. Right foot is slightly angled, maybe 30 degrees. And then get your balance and go down. Go down. Go down. Go down. Very good. And stay here. Sarvanga Purnasana. And come up. And then come back to straighten up. And see if you want to get into spread your feet apart. And then bend forward. Put your hands down. Now here, to keep the back straight, you can take the stick and put it in between so that your hands are pushing, and then you bend forward. So that you know that the back is not rounding off, it is straight, and it is stretching your hamstrings. Very good, and come up. Okay, and then we can go back to the Ashwa Sanchalan. And come back to Hanumanasana. This is the Hanumanasana pose, Ardha Chandra Namaskar. And then you put another twist. So put your left on the right and then twist. And then take your right foot back. And we're going to do some Marjari Asana here. So spread your knees apart so that they are directly below your hips and they are 90 degrees to the mat. Uncurl your toes at the back. Make sure your hands are under your shoulders. And then you exhale and push with your hands. Push against the mat. And this is where you round off your back. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Forceful exhalations, forceful inhalations. And then take your left foot out. I'm going to move a little bit forward. And left hand out, right foot back. And bring it in, grab your knee, and see if you can touch your nose to the knee. And then go out again. Exhale, and nose to the knee. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, and stop. Do the right side. Inhale, exhale, nose to the knee. Forceful exhalations. Hear yourself breathing out. Forceful inhalation. Exhalation, forceful. Very good. Then we're going to go into Vyagrasana. So from Marjaryasan into the tiger pose. So go out and bend your knee. Come in and bend your knee. Kick. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, exhale. There you go. Very good. And then we come to the right side. Exhale. 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 And then this time, grab your right ankle with your left hand and kick outward. So this time, grab your right ankle with your left ankle with your right hand and grab the tail and pull up. And very good. Very nice. So this is good. And then you're going to put your chest in between. Put your chin down and chest and come up. And then put your right hand under the left one and put your shoulder down. That'll give you a nice twist. And relax here. And come up and put your left hand under so that your left shoulder is resting on the ground. You get a nice twist. Very nice. And then lift your left leg up and go down and grab it. Very nice. And then right foot up and go down and grab it. Very nice. Okay, I think that is all about the cat and the tiger. And then we're going to come into Sashtang Namaskar and Sarpasan. And Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then come to Balasana and relax. See, with all this strenuous exercise, the yoga is maintaining me into my heart rate zone. You know, isn't that amazing? I really find it really amazing. How did they know about heart rate zones back then? But it's there. You typically will not go above your heart rate zone. And come up. And put your left foot up. Come to Hanumanasana. And see if you can twist. So your forearms should be in one line, not like this or like that. They should be in one line. And ideally your heart, your center of your chest should be in line with this. That's how much twist this position can offer. So what you can do is you can push with your left hand, push against the right, and your elbow is pushing on your right, on your left knee, and you look up. And come up. And then grab and come to Padhastasana, Janushirasana. And very good. So it's almost 8 o'clock. I think we can do one more quick one without having to stop with a little bit of other variations that we have not done yet. So let's try that. Om Bhraim Bhanave Namaha. And so we are skipping some other variations that we have already done and come to Padhastasana. So here's one thing you can do is, you know, no matter what you do, your knees try to bend. So you can cross your right leg on top of the left one, okay? And then try to see if you can bend. So what's this going to do? The right leg is going to keep your back leg straight. It's not going to allow it to bend. So you crisscross them and then see if you can touch the ground or hold the toes. So you're holding the right toe with your left and your left toe with your right. And come up, okay? So that could be one variation that we have not done. So you cross it and you go down and completely straighten your knees. There you go. And then put them back and then take your right foot back this time. This is the fourth suryanamaskar. And then come up. And then this time, push your hips deeper, then grab your hands at the back, clasp them, and turn backward. Make sure you have a nice balance. This could put you in a precarious position. And then come back, and then put your hands by the side, and then come to Dandasana, Dvipada Prasaranasana. So here, put your right hand in between under your face, okay, between the two hands under your face, and then turn and stack your hands up. And then see if you want to twist and flip over. And then flip back. And then do the opposite. Put your left hand and then stack yourself up. Those who need help, you can rest your knee down. Those who can, just do that. And see if you want to flip over and push your hips up. And come back to Dandasana. Okay, very good. And then relax. Exhale through the center of your lips. That is the quickest way to relax your heart. So we were in Vashishthasana earlier, just so you know. And come up and go to Sashtang Namaskar. And come to Sarpasana. And look up. And come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And come to Balasana. Now, grab your heels at the back. And if you pull yourself, you will see that you'll easily be able to rest your forehead down. This is also called the version of Shashankasana. Shashank is a rabbit. It's also the name of the moon, because we see the rabbit in the moon as you look up in the full moon day. And then put your hands by the side. This is the true Shashankasana. And come up into Vajrasana. And I'm going to move up a little bit so that I'm in the upper end of the mat. And you take your block right here. Those who cannot sit in Vajrasana, you can put your block in between and then sit on it like that. Okay, you can sit like that. If you cannot even do that, you can raise the block up and then sit on it. If you can put it flat, you can sit this way. Now, when you put your feet on the side of the butts, not under your butts, it becomes Virasana. So make sure your knees are together. And then you go back, okay? Hold your feet and go back. This is an excellent position again. It's a backward bend. And then come up. And if you want to take your block out and completely sit with your feet on the side, sit on the side and completely sleep at the back. Supta Virasana. Now, here's one technique which is going to feel you really good, is to put the block outside like this and then sleep and let the block rest your blades, your shoulder blades, and let your head tug backward. Okay, very good. And then you come to Ustrasana. So make sure your thighs are hip width apart. Curl your toes at the back. And then you want to see if you can grab this guy, okay, the left guy. So this is how I position it. So you put your knee in between the thumb and the four fingers. So I'm putting this tendon on my Achilles tendon, okay, and I'm grabbing the knee. And then I go up, Ardha Ustrasana, and come back. And do the same with the right side. Grab the right with the right hand, and Ardha Ustrasana. And if you want to do the full, you sit, grab both the knees, for the heels, and then push your hips up and open up. Very good. Okay, I think with that, we're going to stop the Surya Namaskars. We'll complete it. So we were at Adho Mukha Svanasana, and we were at Balasana. Put right foot up. And look straight ahead. And get up. And so one thing I forgot to mention in Surya Namaskar, you have to remember that there are 8 parts where your body touches the ground. 8 parts, right? We do the Sashtanga Namaskar. So there are 2 hands, the 2 knees, and the 2 toes at the back. Those 6 positions, your forehead and your chest that touches here. Those 8 positions throughout the 12 Surya Namaskars that you do should not change. So this will be a good thing. You can take a little chalk and mark these positions on your mat and make sure that you land exactly on those spots every time you do the Surya Namaskar, okay? That will give you a rigor. That'll give you some kind of discipline in doing the Surya Namaskar. So you're not landing here or there, you're just barely making it up there or moving up or down. None of that will happen. You're perfectly, in this rhythm. And rhythm means same position, same time, same breathing technique, same going upward, downward, all of that. You get into this cycle. And that cycle is very rhythmic, it's very consuming, it's kind of meditative at the same time. Okay? So with that, I think we should end this. Let me see, what's the time? We have some time for, yep, we can do some pranayama. So sit on your block. And tuck your left heel into your perineum. And put your right foot on the top. And sit, relax. Make sure your heart rate is normal. It is still up there. So just close your eyes and we'll do some prana karshan kriya. So take your glasses off. Take your wristwatch off. And you will notice that despite the winter, you get a little bit of sweat on your forehead. That's the thing I've always noticed with Surya Namaskar, no matter in whatever weather, your body will still break the sweat. Okay. Sit in Chin Mudra and exhale through the center of the lips. Breathe in deep. Very controlled breath out. Breathe in deep. Take another deep breath. So how do you control the breath? So imagine that you're blowing a candle. And when you blow on the candle, if you do, it will extinguish. But if you blow with a very continuous, constant pace kind of thing at it, it will not extinguish. It will just go to the verge of extinction and then it will, extinguishing, and then it will come back. So that's how you practice this simple blowing through the center of your lips. Take a deep breath. So to further relax, we are going to do upper thoracic breathing, not the kapalbhati that we do with your abdominal breathing, like by pushing the, this is too forceful. So we're going to do the upper thoracic, the one that is using the lungs, okay? So you're just going to use your chest muscles to kind of go up and down. Of course, you're using the diaphragm, but in the breathing normal way, like this. So here, see, when you're doing the kapalabhati, when you exhale forcefully, your tummy automatically blows out and it sucks air back in, right? Here, you'll have to make an attempt to blow out and blow in, blow out and blow in with the same pace, okay? So equal attention is given to exhalation and inhalation. And this is the thoracic kapalbhati, as I call it. So let's do that. We'll do 108 rounds. Exhale fully. Breathe in half the lungs and begin. Hundred and eighth one, exhale fully out. Don't breathe in. Starve the lungs for a minute. Breathe in and gently let it go by Ujjayi breathing. So you constrict your epiglottis. We'll do a second round. Exhale fully. Breathe in half the lungs and begin. Exhale fully. Keep the air out of the lungs. You're not breathing. And then breathe in. Take a deep breath and let it go. One last round. Exhale fully. Breathe in half and begin. Keep the lungs empty. And take a deep breath. And let it go. We'll do a couple of rounds of bhramari. And bhramari it's coming from the word Brahma. And the whole Brahman, the expansion of the universe, has a hum. And the scientists now do talk about that hum. And it hums at a certain frequency. And when you try to imitate that frequency in yoga, it's called bhramari. That means something that is We're trying to imitate like the Brahman, Bhramari, the sound of the Brahman, Bhramari. Then it kind of became bhramari. Bhramari is nothing but the bee. And the bee that goes and collects the honey from everywhere, that has a similar hum to that Bhramari. So that's why it's called, I think, Bhramari Pranayama. So what we will do is we'll keep the thumb and on this vestigial organ that you have here, which is not quite there. I mean, you can see here, right here. This guy, you press that and you close the thumb, I mean your ear like this, okay, with your thumb. Okay, and then you do the same thing on the other side. So take this and put those thumbs on that vestigial organ and you close the ears out. And then you put your right and left on, your middle fingers on your eyebrows. See that if you can touch them right at the Ajna chakra, between the eyebrows, you can touch them like this. And with your ring finger, you can close your eyelids and your pinky can just dangle on your cheek and your index finger is on the forehead, okay? So this is called the Shankmukhi Mudra. And we're going to take a deep breath right here. And we're going to make the sound of the bee. And to make the sound of the bee, you'll have to constrict your epiglottis pretty hard inside. And then you're going to try to make this sound of the bee. And those who don't know or never done it before, you can follow me. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. Take a normal breath. Take a deep breath. Relax. Put your hands down. Sit in Chin Mudra. Breathe normally. Join your hands to the heart center. Take a deep breath and we'll see Omkar again, like the one in the beginning with the mouth open, ah, and then we go to ma. Make sure your tongue will be at the roof of your mouth when you close your lips. Take a deep breath. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidikena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankha Chakra Siddharinam Sahasrara Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari Rub your palms. And notice the difference between the Chidakash now and then. You may see some colors. You may see some geometric patterns. Thank you, guys.